Ladies and gentlemen, Opposite Attractions proudly presents a new Country Bear Jamboree.
Well, hey everybody! Who's your favorite podcast? Welcome to Opposite Attractions, the show about theme park design that's technically possible. I'm your host, Peter Possum, Scottye Moore, joined as always by this man who forced me to watch Country Bears Jamboree, Jim Murphy.
You should be sad that you've never seen it in person.
See, I did go to Florida this weekend for to be a fancy business boy and go guest on podcasts. And the day I was supposed to go to Disney and theme parks, I definitely overslept and missed my flight. So my plan to go see Country Bears on Thursday was instead relegated to, okay, how about this? Let's watch Country Bears before we do the show tonight. Jim, I got 2 minutes in before I went, this isn't me. This isn't for me. This isn't my jam.
You have a problem with the Bear Rug Band?
Yeah, but that was a whole lot of nothing. That was a whole lot of annoying bear. It was like the Comedy Barn in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but if you replaced all of the rednecks with animatronic bears.
So you didn't...
It's kind of the...
You didn't get the blood on the saddle or
No.
The guys that turn me on, turn me down. You didn't get to that?
No, it reminded me a lot of when I rode Enchanted Tiki Room for the one and only time I ever got.
That is a ride,
to
yes.
see that.
That was my next question was, have you ever seen the Tiki Room?
Yes, I was dragged into Tiki Room by my then girlfriend. This is why she's no longer my girlfriend. The whole time, all I could think was, okay, so it's like I dropped acid and then watched a bunch of birds for a while.
Walt Disney's, grandest creation destroys relationships.
Yeah, basically.
I'm talking about Epcot, actually, not Tiki Room.
So you were telling me that apparently Twitter's going to get mad at us about this episode.
So there have been rumors in the past few weeks that the Country Bears and the Tiki Room both may be going away.
Yes!
The Country Bears would be apparently replaced by a Woody's Roundup style marionette show.
Okay.
And while it hasn't been, it might not be a replacement for the Tiki Room. They did say that it might get some Moana thrown into it.
I'd be down with that. I'd probably, if they put, what was his name? Kiki, the little chicken?
Hey is the chicken, I think.
Hey, that's right. Kiki is definitely something else from the drag community that I have adopted.
Kiki is the name of a witch from an old Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
So that kind of got people up in arms enough that the Disney Parks blog went on and posted things like, hey, just so you know, this actually isn't happening, even though D23 is in a month and it's probably happening.
So what you're saying is this is the real life equivalent of when I walked up to the guy at Spaceship Earth and was like, I hear it's closing down for 2 years. And he's like, who the fuck told you that, you dipshit? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
You saw the Tiki Room. You did not see the middle version of the Tiki Room when it had Iago and Zazu from Aladdin and the Lion King, respectively?
No, they were not there, I don't believe.
That version ran from the late 90s to 2000 something until there was a fire in the building and the only thing that was destroyed was Iago.
So that sounds like a planned detonation at that point.
But that entire attraction was centered around, see these tiki birds, see how much they suck? Well, these two birds are going to make fun of it for the entire show. So it was literally the entire show, but them two Mystery Science Theatering over the top of it and saying how much garbage it is.
So what you're saying is it was the experience of going to Tiki Room with me. It's what it was for a solid 10 years.
This is the problem I have. Is that, okay, you kind of are a Disney fan somewhat, and you've seen each of these shows respectively a combined half of a time.
Yes.
I don't know I'm assuming if there was a spectrum between like you and like the Disney fan that is like an AP pass holder, blogger, like Twitter person that like that's all they do all the time is like visit Disney multiple times a week and stuff, that they have probably seen those many, many, many times and have a fondness for them. The same way somebody might have like some people have fondness for like Journey to Imagination or Horizons.
Look me in the eyes when you're gonna fucking call me out. Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
calling you out. I'm saying that if you went to like Disney World and you like just grabbed random people walking in, like just, and you said, how many times have you been here before? And anyone that said like less than 3, if you said, how do you feel if the country bears went away? They probably wouldn't give a damn.
Yeah.
And the same is with the Tiki Room, is they probably wouldn't care. But the problem that happens is the people that care about Disney news and rumors also care that the Country Bears and Tiki Room and certain other attractions stay the same forever. And I get this tiny feeling that if somehow Walt Disney was 118 years old this year and was alive, that thing would probably be long gone anyway.
Yeah. So so what you're telling me is that apparently Disney Twitter and wrestling Twitter are the same, whereas the people who aren't that big of fans usually are not the ones with the biggest opinions. Usually it's the ones who go to every Raw that are like, don't put the belt on John Cena again.
They just have this thing of like, everyone they know is outraged, so everyone else must also be outraged. And that they're trying to save something that I don't know. I'm not saying, like, I like the Country Bears. I like the Tiki Room well enough. But I don't know if I would cry over them going away, even with, like, the connections to Walt and him, like, designing them and or wanting them to be built. Like, Country Bears was supposed to be in a ski resort in Northern California.
Yeah.
And the Tiki Birds,
well, I mean,
was cool in 1955 because no one had seen animatronics before.
There's still Carousel of Progress, so if you want to deal with Walt and like look at the history, go right back.
There's still the Tomorrowland Speedway, which people like give zero craps about. It's like they're like, please change it. Like some people were saying, change it just to like put electric cars in so that it doesn't smell like gasoline all over that side of the park.
Yeah, I could fuck with that. I actually, as the driver of a hybrid car, I'm like, give me some hybrid Tomorrow Speedway cars.
So, like. But there's so many other. Like, do I want to see the marionettes from like Toy Story in Frontierland? Not especially. But do I care that the Country Bears might go away? Not really.
Yeah.
And I don't know why and if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. Like, you're not, like, I don't think, like, people tried to, like, chain themselves to Mr. Toad's, and they still just went in and just gutted that whole thing. And that was, like, a good ride that probably had at least somewhat of a line.
Well, Jim, I've brought a quiz to the table this week
to
help us figure out
that link from you, actually.
Yeah, it's which country bear will you lose your virginity to on Christmas night? No, it's just which country bear are you? And as someone who's only seen, 2 minutes of the ride, I'm not gonna really understand my response to this, but let's do it. What was your favorite activity in high school? Football? Still in high school. That's not an answer. Morning announcements, basketball, fashion, theater, chasing boys, doing my own thing. Chasing them boys, swinging on the swings in the schoolyard, school band or music class. I was a theater boy, so I'll click theater.
I think I'm gonna pick doing my own thing is what I'm gonna pick for this one.
What is your must-have fashion item? Hats and scarves, a big hair bow, nightgowns, bowler hats, a feather boa, a cravat, nothing but a hat and guitar. Fuck yeah, I'm feeling this one. A vest, a raccoon skin cap, overalls, or a bowler hat and a scarf.
They're really laying it down on which character each one of these is. Really hard.
I'm a hats and scarves boy myself. I am Chris Jericho.
I'm just gonna go with. I don't really have any real good options for this one. I'm gonna go with the bowler hat by itself.
Okay. What do you like singing about? Now, this one's got an interesting answer. What do you like singing about? Killing your dog is number one. Boys, when my significant other will return from war, how ugly you and your significant other are. Davy Crockett, alright. People sing about you while you play music. Blood, breaking boys' hearts, playing the piano, how long is forever. Wow, okay. And boys breaking your heart. I mean, I do. Every day I'm singing about boys. Boys. No, Davy Crockett. I'm gonna sing about that old coonskin boy. What about you, Jim? Breaking
I picked
boys'
blood.
hearts?
I definitely picked blood.
Okay. Pick a word that describes you, and my God, I didn't watch the video long enough to really look at this Bertha massive bear.
That is Trixie.
That
is Trixie. She is a little bundle of fluff from Tampa.
Pick a word that describes you. Talented, classic, fabulous, twisted, temptress, bootylicious. This is still a country bear quiz, right? Bootylicious, okay. Pretty on the inside, short, dramatic, the center of attention, or young at heart. I am quite bootylicious, they've told me.
I don't know what classic's referring to, but I'm just going to take that just because
I would pick you as classic. I'm going to say talented. Nope, dramatic. Pick a Jamboree lyric that you feel the most. It's only got one string. Piano introduction.
That's not a...
Howdy, folks. She ain't pretty, but I ain't too. Acting like a Don Juan, making a lot of noise. All the guys that turn me on, turn me down. How long is forever? I think you should shoot him instead. Tears will be the chaser for your wine.
I forgot about that song. But
Well, there he goes. He hardly knows whose heart he's breaking, and a big, big puddle of blood on the ground.
I'm gonna go. I have to go puddle of blood because I really want to get him. So I'm hoping.
I'm gonna go with acting like a Don Juan, making a lot of noise. Now, how were you discovered to join the Jamboree? And my God, it's like Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Those are the bears. Those are the bears that sing "All the boys that turn me on, turn me down."
What?
Yeah,
But they're children.
They're not children. Their names are Beulah, and I don't remember the other two.
They look like children. I don't like. Okay, how were we discovered? Were we a football player turned country star? Too short for spots, so settled for music. Started at the bottom. Now we're here. You lived in Florida and Walt Disney himself found you. Discovered at a young age. Fell off the balcony in Romeo and Juliet. Broke the stage with my ample rump and ran away to Florida. Visited Florida. Decided to stay. Used to be a well-known concert pianist. Picked up on the side of the road with 17 suitcases full of... Fuck, there's a lot. You and your family are just that good. Discovered sitting in a stool in an ice cream parlor. Homeboy, I broke the stage with my butt. While Romeo...
I'm definitely going started at the bottom and now you're here.
Mm-hmm. Pick a musician band. Darren Criss, One Direction, before Zayn betrayed them. Mariah Carey, Mozart, Adele, Alice Cooper, Justin Bieber, Tim McGraw, fucking Yeezy, Destiny's Child, or Lady Gaga. I'm gonna go with Yeezy. Get that Kanye.
See, the thing is, I'm assuming Tim McGraw would get me the answer I want, but I'm gonna go Mariah Carey on this one.
Okay. I got Kanye. Oh, shit, baby. I've taken pictures of this boy before. I got Terrence, the Ozark Shaker. Terrence is better known as the vibrating wreck from Nashville Tech. Accurate. His stay at Nashville was short. The roar of the grease paint called to him, and he became an actor. He performed often with the Barrymores. He was known throughout the Ozarks and as far north as Joplin for his tent show rendition of Cyrano de Bergerac. Fuck you. A fall from the balcony brought him down with his ample rump. It ended his acting career, and he turned his lights for a guitar. That's not a real sentence. But yeah, there we go. I'm Terrence. What about you, buddy?
I got Big Al.
Yeah, Big Al. Who is Big Al?
Big Al sings the song "I Got Lost on My Way to Your Heart."
Aww.
It says, Big Albert says, I was born in a cave near the Princess Theater in Pocatello, Idaho. They have a horrible city flag, if you're not aware. There was music in his blood, and he's been playing his guitar since he was a child. It's become more difficult. Big Al has grown, and the guitar hasn't.
Is Big Al the big fat baby one, or am I thinking of someone else?
Are you thinking of like one of like the bear, like a bear from like a Looney Tunes cartoon?
I may be thinking of Baby Huey, who is a duck.
It says he loves to sit in front of his cave and sing. He was the first to practice ecology. He didn't litter his cave with tin cans and paper cartons. He ate them. That's one way.
Yeah, that's a man right there.
He was a resident bard and balladeer in the swamp before Disney World was built.
Yeah.
And 3 badgers and an alligator have expressed great joy that he is now singing for people.
Aww.
This is Big Al's 10th farewell appearance and counting. I don't know what that means.
Oh no, Jim, are you leaving the show? Just leaving the podcast. Alright, so we figured out what bear we are. I apparently fucked up a stage with my big ass. And you just know how to play music. So now we've got to fix the ride.
In Disneyland, they do a thing called Haunted Mansion Holiday, where they put the Nightmare Before Christmas figures.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have a Country Bears in Disneyland. They got rid of it and replaced it with the Winnie the Pooh out there. They used the skeleton of Big Al to make Oogie Boogie for the Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Oh, that's so good! The corpse of Big Al lives on as Oogie Boogie. All right. How did you fix Country Bears? Because as evidence from my 2-minute watch, it needs some fixins.
So I'm just gonna say this: if you've ever noticed when you're in Frontierland or in Adventureland and you look at the building that the Country Bears are in, it basically, if you're on the Adventureland side, it looks like what you would see. You would like if you look at the top of the building, it looks like it's with the Tiki Room, but if you look at it from the Frontierland side, it looks like it fits in with like Bear Hall or whatever the hell that place is called.
Right.
So, like, I'm just going to combine both of those things together.
Oh.
Because they share a building, so I'm definitely combining
You've
the two.
created true horror for Scottye Moore.
So, if you look at it on a map, the entrances to the attractions are like on corners, and there's like a C-shaped, it'd be basically like a giant C-shaped building with like the, I don't think anything really comes up. I mean, the Pecos Bills comes off the exit of Country Bears. That's where you exit out of there. So that's probably where I would have people exit, but I kind of want to have exits on both sides of the theater, like kind of where they are now. But I want to make one giant stage, and the idea is that the Country Bears would be welcoming people from Frontierland to like get them to like visit like the tropical like serenade.
Oh, okay.
So they would be doing like islandy songs, whereas the Tiki Birds would be on stage with them, and they'd be like doing country songs.
So it's like, I don't know if you ever watched
the two together.
I don't know if you ever watched country music television, but they used to do a series where they would invite pop artists and rock stars to perform with, like, country stars, which did lead to Taylor Swift performing Pour Some Sugar on Me at one point, which did ruin my childhood. So it's kind of like that, but with Tiki Room and country. See, I thought you were going to go in an opposite direction, which is that it's almost as if the divide didn't come down, and now all of a sudden they're performing against one another, like West Side Story coming after. Or it could be like the music video for Walk This Way with Run DMC, where the Country Bears break down the wall and start singing with them.
I'm going to guess that Disney fans have had enough Aerosmith for their general
Nah, baby. Bring back the shocker. I want it back.
I would definitely put like the Tiki Gods in overalls, and the Bears would have like Hawaiian shirts, which I think they do anyway, or they did in Disneyland because they do like a summer vacation hoedown. I think, or I don't think they do that they don't do it anymore in Disneyland because it's gone. But that's what they used to do. I don't know if they ever did that in Florida.
What replaced it in California?
Winnie the Pooh is what took it over. And actually, if you watch the 2 minutes of the video, did you see Buff and Max and Melvin, the heads on the wall? The like talking heads on the wall?
No, it didn't show it to me.
So on the side where the exit is are 3 stuffed heads of like a moose and a deer and a buffalo, and they talk.
Of course they do, because my nightmares will never end when I go to country.
And they're actually kind of hilarious. But in the California version, when you ride through into like where the heffalumps and woozles are, I think if you like turn around and look at the ceiling behind you, like they're still on the wall, like dead-eyed.
Once again, let me reiterate, that point of the ride is going through fucking purgatory, Jim, and that's where they live now. Okay, so it's essentially both of them not fighting, kind of indulging in the love of the other side.
Yeah, and I think if you went in the one way, you would kind of have to exit through the other way, but I think we could figure that out.
You could put it's 2 stages. One shoots forward, one shoots back, and then the entire thing rotates and they swap places. And now all of a sudden you're in Frontierland if you started in Adventureland, and Adventureland puts you in Frontierland as like the stages, or not the stages, the audience moves forward or back.
I did think about some kind of rotating theater, but there's not a lot of space in that building for rotation.
I still love this concept of almost a Romeo and Juliet-esque play where one of the bears falls in love with a bird.
Well, maybe not a bear. Maybe it could be.
No, but it's the bear.
Well, there's the main like guy has a top hat with a raccoon in it, I think, or a skunk or something.
Oh fuck yeah!
So there's that, but there's also like with the 5 bear rugs. There's a little baby bear that sits on the stage with a teddy bear, like a little teddy bear. And I think he makes some kind of noise at the end of their song. So
nothing makes something better than adding raccoon fucking. That's all you really need to make anything better. Now, what it could be is one of them could have like a jar of honey and there's bees floating around it. And one of the bees falls in love with the birds, and that's how he teaches the whole audience about the birds and the bees.
And then Martin Short appears for the making of me. Yeah.
And then he talks to you about Canada.
That's another thing That's another thing you probably would only get about 2 minutes into if you tried to watch it on YouTube, is the making of me.
Oh, the making of me.
That is not a thing that should have ever been in a Disney park. Like, if it is, it should have had Aerosmith music going with it.
Son of a bitch, I lived the making of me. I'm good with it. Both versions, in and out. I got it. I'm good at this point with this. So, for my ride, I did sit and think of roughly 20 bear-related puns to instead, like, make a ride where it's all about the bears and now they're fighting. That would be the Country Bear Slamboree.
I'm glad you reined yourself in at 20.
A ride presented by me that's called the Hurling Swears Jamboree. No, instead I decided, here's the thing. Yes, Woody fits in with the theme of Frontierland, and yes, the Woody Roundup would be a great plan. I would instead like to feature a new character and his new problems. And welcome to the first ever existential crisis show at Disney World, Five Nights at Forky's.
Oh no!
Where Forky is there, and it's nothing but him trying to... Because have you seen Toy Story 4 yet?
No, but I know of its thing. I do know that there's an existential crisis.
I want to address something that happens at the end. It doesn't spoil the plot, but apparently the little child comes home with a new Forky, but this one's called Knifey. And Knifey is going through the same existential issues as Forky, and Forky's like, no, it's okay, because we've got friends, and that's all we need. And then they're like, but why am I alive? And then the movie ends, because he doesn't have an answer. And this is, I like to think this is half show and half kind of your own builds your own adventure. Because as you sit down, there will be supplies in front of you to make your own fork-based human to take out with you. And at the end of the ride, there's going to be a song basically highlighting their existential crisis. And the words appear, and you have to make your Forky sing along with it.
Are you trying to, just defeat the, all the people at Disneyland that stole the sporks from Galaxy's Edge. You're like, we're just going to give them to you. Just you got to put a face on it first. Good luck reselling that.
Either that, I'm fighting them. I'm fighting Winnie the Pooh for the most existential, horrifying ride there is at the park. But yeah, like
I don't know. There's a thing where like a British scientist ends up as the moon. That's a little rough.
Yeah. That's how I'd like to go when I die, which is my new headcanon for Figment, is that he's now dead. Figment's murdered him and placed him in the moon. But I do like this concept of Forky. Now, it's now becoming almost like the Matrix horrifying thing where robots keep building more robots. So Forky is now trying to create an army to fight back against the humans who have did him wrong. So now he's creating like this 4-piece band. And I've dubbed the band Forky and the Trash Boys. And they get on stage and just start playing like 1970s Black Flag hardcore punk and screaming at you for why you did this to them. And then like other characters can come in along the way. Like, I don't know. I thought about doing like all the different genres. So Forky has like existential horror pop. Then you could bring in Woody for a country thing.
You could bring back Kitchen Cabaret because they were all they were all food-based products.
I did like this point where a hip-hop group would come on stage, and then they would start playing quarters after the fact, and then Buzz would step out and have no idea how the game works. He's just like, I've got no idea. To infinity and beyond. And then, no, that's who it is. It's the fucking Key and Peele Duck and Rabbit. Bunny and Duck from fucking Toy Story. They come out and start doing a hip-hop number. Then they start playing quarters. And then Buzz Lightyear comes out and gets real racist. And everyone gets real uncomfortable for a few. So yeah, I'm kind of just thinking of all the different Toy Story things that I would like to throw in there.
Infinity in pure Michigan.
Now, of course, Rex would come out and have a saxophone solo. Which would be the greatest point of the show.
You'd have to use like extra, like long, like grabbers to hold the saxophone.
Yeah. Ham would probably do like a William Shatner spoken word number. It's all hosted. I'm not changing the whole thing. It's also hosted by Mr. Potato Head, who is voiced by Steve Harvey in this one. It's a brand new Potato Head. Holy shit! Hold on. So, fun fact: my youngest nephew loves Toy Story. And they were talking to him about seeing Toy Story 4. And they were just like, well, who are your favorite characters? And they're like, he's like, I like Woody and I like say all of them. And I was like, okay, cool. What do you think about Mr. Potato Head? And then he just got real sad. And I went, what's up, buddy? He goes, Mr. Potato Head can't come back anymore. I'm sorry? What you mean? He's like, because Don Rickles died, and now there's no more. And I'm like, holy shit, you're 4! You should not be going through the Don Rickles is dead horror of your life this young.
Yeah, save that for at least when you're 8 or 9.
Which is actually the theme of the #1 song by Forky and the Trash Boys, Don Rickles is dead.
They could just have, they now in canon have Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner, so they could just do that.
Yeah. So, Jim, that's my way. I'm going to upgrade that ride. Now, let me ask you before I pick mine, because we all know what the last episode's going to be. How many more rides do I have to come up with before the end of the season?
Are we going to have a 15th, like, burn it all down episode? Because that can be...
Absolutely not. The last episode will and has always going to be a massive theme park dedicated to Fast and the Furious Supercharged.
Because right now you would be picking for 11, so you would pick 11, 13, and then that would be 15. So that would work out fine.
Okay, so I got 2 more I have to figure out. All right, let me think about rides that I love in the world.
You're supposed to fix broken things.
Alexa, pick a number 1 through 6.
I'm so glad
she said 4.
Headphones.
She said 4. That's Hollywood Studios. So we're fixing a Hollywood Studios ride, and it's gonna be.
You really don't have much options here.
It's pretty rough, Jim. It's pretty. How about this? Let's fix Great Movie Ride. It's dead and gone, so now we can do whatever we want.
Okay.
And that was all thanks to our good friends over at Amazon who bring this ride to you. So yeah, next week is going to be a brand new great movie ride. But until then, Jim, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm on Twitter at ApparentlySmart. I apologize in advance for that.
I went full RuPaul for that shit. I was like, Jim Murphy, your Twitter account left people feeling a little dumb. I'm sorry, my dear, but you are up for elimination this week. You can find me on Twitter at RuPaul, R-U-P-A-U-L, and also at ScottyMo, S-E-O-T-T-Y-E-M-O. Buy all my books on Amazon, the Queasel Corp Trilogy, BS vs. the Gods, they're all available, so check that out. Check out all the other shows online at aloadofpurebs.com, and remember to support the show, whether that be monetarily by picking up some merch at merch.aloadofpurebs.com, or by donating to our Patreon, like the Patreon saint of opposite attractions, Ransom Meltzer. Thank you so much, Ransom. And if you want to join them, you can at patreon.com/a-load-of-BS. And make sure we're in the home stretch now, baby. So make sure to check up on the rest of this season at opposite-attractions.com. And if you want to read a bunch of shitty jokes from Jim about theme parks, follow us on Twitter at UpAtShow. That's spelled OPPATTSHOW. Are you down with OPP?